When is a person not a person?
You can turn back now, or learn the stuff they don't want you to know.
So quick recap, in our earlier episodes on personhood, we covered two very interesting concepts. One is the idea of corporate personhood. The second idea was something that's sort of Zen, non-human personhood. It's like a one-hand clapping kind of thing, right? A tree in the empty forest, but it's also real. So let's get right to it. When is a person not a person? Well, one of the answers is when that person is stateless, meaning they have no nationality. They have no nation that recognizes them as a citizen. So some refugees are stateless, but it's not always the same thing. If you are a stateless person, your country of residence feels no legal obligation to give you a passport, give you a birth certificate, allow you into public schools, even allow you to work. This is a huge problem, an enormous problem. It's a problem to the tune of 12 million people estimated. And that estimation might be lowballing it because according to the UNHCR, that's the United Nations High Commissioner on Refugees, it's very difficult to find stateless populations and to figure out exactly what's going on. So how does somebody become stateless? How do you wake up and not have any of the rights that other human beings have just by being human? Well, there are a couple of ways this happens. One, racial discrimination and ethnic discrimination are huge parts of this. In 1989, for instance, Mauritania forcibly deported 30,000 Mauritanian citizens because they were black. And in another case, gender can also play a role. In Middle Eastern countries and in Northern African countries like Morocco or Saudi Arabia, a woman who's a foreigner could not pass on her nationality to her child. So in a way, this is a very brutal lottery played out every day across the world. And it really is, although we don't like to overuse this line, it really is something that these countries might not want you to know about. It doesn't look good, of course, in the international community to say, well, these people are people. These people, I don't know. Now, of course, that sounds crass, but humor aside, the point here is key, that there are more than 12 million people, most likely, in the world who right now are legally not considered people, really. They're humans, they're individuals, but are they people? Not legally. Now, there is a huge groundswell across the world to address this problem, to make these invisible human beings into actual people. Assistant High Commissioner Erica Feller notes that stateless people are at even more risk for several other things. For instance, conscription into a military force. So you're not a person, but you could be a soldier. Victims of prostitution, victims of human trafficking, victims of forced manual labor, the list goes on. So on top of ethnic discrimination, on top of gender, there's another maybe surprising way that people can become stateless. Mark Manley, another UN officer in the 1990s, noted that more than half of the world's stateless population for a time came from the breakup of the Soviet Union. These were people in former Soviet countries who all of a sudden were part of a country that didn't exist, and not part of one of the new ones that formed. So just imagine, if you will, the day-to-day rigors of not being a person, of being functionally invisible. Your children won't be able to get birth certificates. And one of the more morbid facts here is that sometimes when people who are stateless die, they don't even get a death certificate. It's like their life never occurred. Now, maybe we're being a little bit melodramatic here, of course, and we want to take pains to point out that we're not saying that animals shouldn't have rights. We're not saying that dolphins or elephants or other cetaceans and primates don't deserve it. What we are saying is that there are real-world cases wherein a person is not a person. Let's see if your comment made it on the air. Thank you. Patty Boyle says, it's totally insane to give control to any corporation. Some people would say that it is necessary for corporations to have some legal rights, such as the right to fire and hire employees, the right to buy or sell own property, and to sue. And Hero Fan 90 writes to us and says, please do the October surprise and the Iran-Contra scandal. Well, I don't know, that's kind of, why haven't we done that one? It's a good question. So let's go to tweets. Well, one of the people who tweeted us, I owe you an apology because I didn't get your name on here, but they say, wonder why the banks all over the world and here in Ireland are destroying the fiat currency. It's bad for them too. And hashtag stuff they don't want you to know. That's very kind of you. That's a good question. Some people say they're not destroying the fiat currency. We definitely want to hear people's thoughts because there's always something we can do about banks. Christopher Vega writes in to say, why am I always forgetting things my wife told me? I suspect a conspiracy. Let me know what you guys come up with. Chris, we're gonna level with you. Every relationship is sort of a foreign country, and we're not gonna intrude in your foreign country, mainly because your wife will probably find out and there will be repercussions. This might go all the way to the top, Chris. We're sorry, but we can't tell you. So boom, that's it. We're out of here. Now, we are probably gonna go back to corporations and corporate personhood because our listeners made some amazing comments, and you guys are right. There's so much more stuff we could look into. So let us know what you think. You can drop us a line on Twitter. You can go to our Facebook page. We have an email address. If you don't want to do the social media thing, that's cool. We'll still be friends. You can just send us an email at conspiracy@discovery.com. Oh, and one more thing. What are we covering next week? Ready? Ghosts.